So guys, today I have a quite interesting car. That's the 2014 Cadillac ELR. And what's interesting about this car, number one, it used to be Chevy Volt, but just a more expensive body. And number two, it's only 2,958 cars been produced for those 2014 and 2016 model years. So basically they've been doing it from 2013 up to 16, and that's it. Why this model not exist anymore? Why this car used to be 75,000 base price MSRP, and right now you can buy it only for 14,000. So basically they try to push this car on the market before Tesla S been on the market already. So that's kind of quite interesting questions about this model specifically, and why the Cadillac made the plug-in coupe back in 2014. So they've been trying to bring more like young generation customers or something, and why they stopped producing this car. Basically looks like they failed. They were not selling enough car, or they were not producing enough cars. And I don't think this car will be available in Europe or somewhere else. I think it's made for only United States, but all the technology, like I said, it is a GM, it is a Chevy engine, all the filters, transmission, whatever. It is compatible with Chevy. The battery on the 14 was a little bit smaller, and it was giving you range 37 miles, or in 2016 they do 2 miles more on the range. So they basically expand the battery just a little bit, I think half kilowatt or something like that. So not a big deal. But this car has 80,000 miles. It still drives great. The battery is still working. You can charge it and drive it. It still has 37 miles range on the battery only. There is 4 different modes. I'm going to show it to you over. It is quite sporty, I would say, so quite fast car if you're going to drive it in the city. And it's kind of cool. Again, you plug it in, you have 35 miles range, so you can drive it without the gas engine, without engine generator, just on the battery. And also I want to go over all those little things whatever they made for this car. For example, the door handle, it has a push button like a Chevy Corvette, and even this charger insert, it's a silver, and it's kind of made different from the Chevy. So there is a lot of cool things like those rims, the radiator grille, the headlights, and a lot of different buttons inside. So basically the quality, if you're gonna check the Chevy Volt and the Cadillac, for sure Cadillac has better quality, but some of the things like the buttons, faded paint on the buttons, it is exist on this car, and we're gonna go over it. But in general I think you can live with that. But the whole idea to buy this car for 15,000 used and drive this instead of driving the Prius, I think it's not that bad at all. Not so many people know what kind of car is that. And the most important thing, what's everybody want, I think, when they buy a used car, they trying to like show more value what the car even have right now. And 14,000, this car looks like 50-60,000. And like I say, some people, they still even asking what kind of Cadillac is that. We never seen the car like that, but it is exist, it is on the market. You can check it out and drive it yourself somewhere else. So before I'm going to show you one interesting cool thing, I want to tell you what's the consequences of having the coupe in a city like LA. For example, there is a parking spots always tiny. You have to open the door and hit it. That's why the side of the door, it's all missing the paint, because you have to open the door wide to get in or out of the car. But the interesting part about this car specifically, the door lock, it's sitting on the body, it's not sitting on the door. So we do have a hinge right there, but we don't have a lock on the door itself. So when you push in the button to open the door, you're gonna hear the lock clicking right there inside the body. It's kind of weird. I never see the thing like this. Oh, actually no, Tesla doesn't have it. Tesla has a door lock on the door. So here we have it right there inside the body. And I think if something gonna happen with the lock itself, it's gonna be kind of annoying and tough to go inside to replace it. So that's a quite interesting engineering about that lock itself. So look at those unique, quite interesting, and I would say they are unique rims. It's a 20 each rims, so you have to spend a little bit more money than average hybrid car. because it's huge. The front end of this Cadillac, it is beautiful, and look at this radiator grille. It is a massive kind of chrome plastic pieces, and look at those headlights. So they might remind you Escalade headlights, but actually this car been made before the new body style Escalade. So it's kind of cool. So before we're gonna go in and drive it, I want to take a look on the trunk and the trunk area inside this car. So a lot of chrome pieces, those weird tail lights, backup camera, parking sensors, a lot of kind of stuff for 2014. And the trunk itself, it's not that big, it's not that small, so it's kind of enough for your grocery and maybe for some other things. That's probably all you need in a coupe. So now let's go inside and see why this car used to be 75,000 MSRP. It's not a joke, 75,000 for the Cadillac plug-in. What kind of options this car has? It used to be 75,000. Let's check it out. So let's start from the door panel. Look how massive and beautiful this panel are. Look here. So we have a leather pieces, we have a Alcantara leather on the top of that, carbon pieces, carbon fiber, plastic, the wooden plastic right there. And to open the door, there is no handle. So there is a push button, which is controlling the lock. It's gonna unlock your door so you can move out. The only question, how you're gonna open it if your battery is dead. So as soon as you get inside this car, you're gonna feel it, you're gonna see it, how much attention they brought to this unit. For example, this car got produced in 2014, right? So the new Escalade started producing in 2015. So basically they made this car as a single. What I mean, like if you are the pop star, right, you're making your album, but before the album came out, you're making a single and you put in like the whole attention on that song. Same thing I think with this Cadillac ELR. So basically they put all the technology, this mid-screen, the steering wheel, the headlights, everything they put in this coupe for 75,000 before they start mass production on all the cars like the Escalade and CTS and something else and something else. So basically they all kind of looks the same in the same era generation production. But this car for 2014, I think it was insane. So the people who paid that money, as soon as they were getting inside the car, they've been understanding why they pay so much. Look at this touchscreen, all the buttons clicking. Look at the material on the steering wheel, the leather. This horn, actually it's made from two kind of leather, and all those push buttons. On the top of that, we do have a distance control and a lot of different options. So this car 10 years old and it still lasts. Look at the leather condition. It's insanely cool. So nobody painted. It's all original, 10 years old. 99 actually thousand miles on the car. It's not 80 like I thought it is before. It's 99,000 miles and the seats are in great condition. And since it's a coupe, so this car made for basically two people, the driver and the passenger, because it's really hard to get in the back and get out, and more harder to be sitting on the back while you're driving. It's not enough space for me. Maybe to put the kids on the back is going to be a good idea, but it's a coupe. You're supposed to be drive it yourself or with your partner or your friend. That's it. So this car has a lot of technology, like this cup holder. Look at the lid. It's going out itself and it's closing itself. Besides that, you do have a pocket right there in the middle, right under the climate control. You're just doing like this and it's going up, so you can hide something if you have to. Otherwise, you can plug in your phone and leave it there. That's amazing for 2014 Cadillac. So guys, right now I have 5 miles range on the EV, so that's a battery only, and I have less than half tank and it shows me 83 miles range on that. We have several modes to drive. That's a tour mode, sport, mountain and hold. So tour mode basically for the daily driving in the city, and like an option, take a look on this car before you're gonna buy any plug-in or hybrid car. I think it's a great option if you have enough of self-confidence to buy coupe electric hybrid car like this. 15,000, 14,000, maybe you're gonna find it cheaper with more mileage. But the good point about this car, the battery itself on a volt maybe not that good. After certain miles, like 120,000 miles, they do have some problems, but the engine itself, 1.4 Vortec, was not bad at all. And right now the used engine for the Chevy Volt, which is the same as this Cadillac, it goes about 500, 400. Used one, that's super cheap, means this car has almost zero problem with the engine. If you do have experience with a lot of problems with the 1.4 Vortec, let me know on your comments. But from my experience, this engine lasts long period of time, more than the Prius, that's for sure. So if you check the history of this model, Cadillac ELR, you're gonna see the concept car they made in 2009. So it took them almost 5 years to build the actual car and put it on production to sell it to the public. But before that 2009 project car, right? So they spent a lot of time to design it. And I know for a fact it is 5 years period of time before they're gonna produce the new model. So they have to design it, they have to put together the wheelbase and the body itself, and engineering, and engine, and transmission, and all that kind of things. So if they made it in 2009, so probably they designed this car maybe not 5 years ago, before 2009, not 2004, but somewhere in 2007, 2006. And basically right now this car, it's about almost 20 years since they produced kind of maquette, since they produced kind of first concept car of this Cadillac. And it's not that bad at all. Like I say, there is a lot of technology, it's a cool material, they all feels good still right now after 10 years of usage. And the price for this car, I think it's super sweet, especially if now you know it's been only produced 2,958 cars. That's it. So not anymore, not less, not more, and a lot of them already crashed. So if you do have a chance and you are looking for the hybrid or plug-in hybrid like this to drive it as a daily, and you don't need to have a lot of space in the car, that's a perfect choice in my opinion.